Okay, Ron, between last time you were here and this time, a couple of things have stayed the same in Chilliwack. We still have Luckakuk Road and Lickman Road. I know you love the names. Uh, we still have the...
Well, with everything, whatever's going to lure in the tourists, I mean,
well, exactly.
There's a fast food chain in Cape Breton at the northern tip of Nova Scotia that's still called Lick-a-Chick.
Oh.
So take it from there.
Won't touch it. You may have heard by now the controversy Chilliwack has had with rainbow crosswalks. Has that actually...
I have not. What, are they going apeshit over that?
What? Come again?
Are they going crazy over that? I have not heard about it.
Yeah, they... 22 minutes took a couple of nasty shots at Chilliwack. What people don't know in eastern Canada is Chilliwack already has a couple of rainbow crosswalks, but they're on First Nations land. The big thing is there's nothing downtown, and the city was concerned about exclusion of other groups and that. Is something like that something you would touch or go, no, that's a 10-foot pole?
I don't know. I'll have to see when I get on stage.
Yeah.
But I think every city in the country should have a rainbow crosswalk. You can discuss semantics all you want, but at the end of the day, you scratch the surface, and it's intolerance that prohibits that.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion. Did I touch it strong enough?
I think so. I think so. Between last time you were here and this time, Washington and St. Louis have won Stanley Cups. The Maple Leafs and the Canucks, well, we won't go there. But we've got a federal election coming up. That's got to be easy fodder for you when you're writing.
Well, I will tell you, as the world, in light of the question you just asked me about the rainbow crosswalk, and now we move into politics, and I know Chilliwack is a conservative town. I know it's in what's called BC's Bible Belt, and I'm sure that there's people who hold conservative opinions and people who hold anti-liberal opinions, and liberals as well. So in a country of 37 million people, I mean, I've been touring the country extensively for 20 years, actually, this April 2019. And I know that there's probably people who bought a ticket to see me who have come just to laugh, and that's what they're looking for. And maybe some of my opinions will alienate some, maybe too strong a word, and make others laugh. But, I mean, I try to be an equal opportunity offender, and I think it behooves a Canadian comedian to do that. I mean, we don't have the luxury of 375 million people here. You can pick a Democratic side or a Republican side in America and still have 7 times the population of Canada following you, right?
Yeah.
And so I think you have to tip the apple cart judiciously and with caution, but at the same time, you have to honor the dictates of your craft. And the dictates of my calling and my craft of stand-up comedy is to tip the apple cart, not ride in it, and to speak truth to power. And I think it's a comedian's job to move the planet in the right direction. That doesn't mean a right-wing direction either. It means toward the future and toward progress. And I think as this election begins to polarize the country more than any other election, it's important to, like I say, be an equal opportunity offender. There's things about Justin that I don't like, and there's lots of things about Scheer I don't like. And as far as the NDP are concerned, I think poor old Jagmeet Singh has lost the plot altogether. And but it's more difficult now than it ever was to write political content because everyone gets offended now. It's very easy to offend, and people have begun to react emotionally to everything. It's personal. Where when I started out with my second special, Quest for the West, I remember being on stage in Calgary. I mean, I could hit Ralph Klein just as hard as I could hit Jean Chrétien. You know, I could talk about maybe pipeline issues. I could talk about global warming. I could talk about all these different things without everybody taking personal offense. And I think that's the danger with the rise of populism, that the middle ground has been lost. And I have to straddle both sides of the fence, I think, and keep the mandate that at the end of the day, people have come to laugh. And it's funny, I was talking to a guy from Virginia down here in Nova Scotia this morning. I went to the library because we were out of power. I was down in Lunenburg, and he was an elderly gentleman, used to be a prof at University of Virginia, and he was a big fan of Lewis Black. And then when Trump got elected, they went to see him in Charlottesville, and Lewis Black said, look, I'm not going to be funny tonight because all these issues that Donald Trump represents demand a serious response. But that's not why people came to see him.
Yeah.
That's a tall order. So it's a tall order to address political issues these days without alienating the room. So that's why I do a 2-hour show. I mean, I won't be overtly political for the entire show. I mean, you know, I'm 61 years old. I wake up in the morning and my back sounds like I've got a castanet player in the bedroom with me. You know, do I start the day with a relaxer set or try to stretch again? You know, with some yoga. So I talk about life change too, and body change and midlife and generational change. And sure, you know, I try to land on some standard tropes. I think that all Canadians will react to, whether it's hockey, playing it growing up, the NHL now, or the absolute rabid way some parents relate to their children.
Yeah.
When it comes to playing hockey, I mean, you know, the kid gets a hat trick 3 weeks in a row playing in Pee Wee. They think he's going to be invited to the show.
Right.
You know, and some of these young kids, cripes, as soon as they squirt from the womb, they're getting as much ice time as a seal pup. So, you know, I look at all sorts of change. And, you know, I take a look at how our attitudes have changed toward just evening entertainment. I mean, look at an average night of family viewing since social media has, taken us hostage and literally hijacked the limbic system. Mom's in the living room watching Dragons Dance, Dad's in the kitchen watching the game, Betty is texting Mary, and 12-year-old Billy's in the basement playing World of Warcraft with a 47-year-old pervert in Belgium. It's been a hell of a long time since Mom yelled, "Bonanza's on, everybody." So, I mean, there have been these exponential changes, these exponential paradigm shifts in how we live. And so, you know, I'll harken back sometimes to different days, too, to like growing up, talking about my neighborhood, these universal touchstones that I think everybody relates to, whether it's, going to public school when I was a kid, when I was stuck in class with guys like Bucky Lutley, 21 in grade 7, 3 kids of his own in grade 4.
Slow learner, yeah.
Well, very, very slow. And, or you'll follow the trajectory of life through time, I can't do jokes about raising children anymore because my eldest is 30 and my youngest is 25. And but my youngest is a organic farmer, and I said to her, it's going to be pretty tough to float a mortgage selling cucumber and kale.
Oh,
and she said to me, "What makes you think I ever want a mortgage?"
Yeah.
Okay, but she got me right because that's it. They want substance, not so much money and things. So I'll take a look at that, and I'll take a look at some of these issues that pertain to change and that pertain to like just how politicized even eating has become. I mean, look at sugar. It's become every time you crack the paper, something you're eating is going to kill you.
Yeah.
Sugar's the new heroin. Sugar's the new heroin. I mean, my generation was raised on sugar cereal. Alphabets, Frosted Flakes, Count Chocula. That even had a vampire on the box.
Yeah.
And so I said, "Holy jumpins, we should be rolling pensioners to feed our Sugar Crisp fix, right? Who knew Sugar Bear was a junkie?" So all these things you try to rationalize, it's just trying to make sense of the chaos we're all walking through in the language of laughs. That's what I try to do.
You mentioned turning 61. I turn 60 next month. We're kids of the 50s, well, late 50s. But I agree with you. It's you shake your head and then you reach for the back pain medicine.
Well, since I've been down here in Nova Scotia this summer, it's dark and stormy. You know what that is?
No.
No, you're in Chilliwack. You wouldn't know that.
Ah!
It's ginger beer. It's ginger beer and dark rum.
Oh, okay.
Ice and a squirt of lime. But it was great to get back on the water and around friends and family again. And I think ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what's going to sustain us is just a sense of community, and I think that's worth fighting for, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I'll talk about days when I was growing up in my neighborhood with Dad. I mean, my reward for cleaning up the backyard when I was 13 was he let me stay at the city dump an extra 45 minutes shooting rats in the head with my pellet gun. Right? Growing up in the 60s, you can't say you had a childhood unless you knew somebody with a glass eye in the 60s who got shot out by a beast. So there are touchstone references, I think, that people tend to relate to, whether it's my camping stories or something about nature or about the issues that resonate in the heart as well as the head. And I think political content, I think that has a short shelf life because everything changes so much.
Right.
Know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I have content that I wrote 25 years ago when I was in Los Angeles before I even thought I'd be a stand-up comedian. That still has legs.
Yeah.
And it's because it came from a place in the heart, not so much an intellectualized place in the head.
Yeah. The Full Throttle tour, whereabouts are you now? Halfway through? Just starting?
Oh, no. You're my first stop.
Oh, we're the guinea pigs.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm the guinea pig to see what's going to fly. I think. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, you're the guinea pig. You're my launch pad, man. It doesn't play in Chilliwack. You think it's going to play in North Van? I don't know. That's a stretch.
Yeah.
Is it going to play, if it plays in Chilliwack, will it play in Prince George in the spring?
Right.
It's the thing with British Columbia. It's 5 countries in one province. But the only thing you have in common is a mutual distrust and hate for who's ever running the place.
Yeah.
And, like I always said, it is a blissful corner of the country where everything east of Chilliwack is suspect.
Right.
And it's where a lot of people have been able to leave their troubles in a suitcase on the other side of the Great Divide and slide into a new skin in the happy lands of Shangri-La. It's a remarkable province. And actually, at the end of my tour, I've got a day on the water plan in Victoria where I'll go out for some halibut and some salmon, and that's one of the things about BC.
Yeah.
Is the amount of sea life. It's remarkable.
Yeah.
And I know where you are now. Of course, you're not far from the Fraser, of course. And
Yep.
Still sturgeon in there, and then of course, if you're lucky enough, maybe you'll see a Sasquatch taking a leak by a tree in the woods.
And on that note, Ron, looking forward to seeing you again. You stay safe. We'll talk to you very, very soon.
Thank you very much, brother.
Have a good one, my friend.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.